Another question I have is about the conditions in the current, the deal that the government or the Premier signed with the AFL. There are some penalty conditions, so including a $4.5 million penalty if the Macquarie Point Stadium construction is not 50% complete by October 2027. So should the order pass the Parliament, is the government confident it will reach this milestone and be 50% complete by October 2027? And if not, has it budgeted for the penalties that will be applied, or has it budgeted for these in case that deadline is not met?
We're still on board with that.
Through you, Minister, the agreement runs to December 2030, and that is the timeframe we'll be informing as we go to market for the construction.
Doesn't answer the question.
No, my question was, my understanding of the current agreement with the AFL is that there is a requirement for the Macquarie Point Stadium construction to be 50% complete by October 2027. Less than 2 years away. So will that milestone, is the government confident that milestone will be reached? And if not, or if it's not sure, is there a budget for $4.5 million included in the forward estimates to cover that penalty cost?
There are a number of milestones in the agreement that we've had to negotiate changes for. As we've progressed, obviously there's been delays, including associated with the election. So, of course, once we have some certainty associated with the planning approval for the stadium, we can re-engage with the AFL around some of those detailed delivery dates, just to make sure that they're lined up and they are giving the effect to the original intent of the agreement. Okay, so there's no budget in the forward estimates for that $4.5 million in case that milestone's not met, because you're anticipating it would be negotiated or renegotiated? Yeah, look, the details of the agreement will need to be discussed, just so we can align all of the delivery program with the agreement. So you mentioned that a number of milestones in the government's agreement with the AFL have been negotiated. Are you able to articulate what those other milestones they largely relate to the planning approvals for the stadium and the planning approvals for the high performance centres. Obviously the significant delays in this process means that some of those earlier milestones haven't been met. And they are sort of just milestones that were in the agreement as the project travels through its process to get to construction. So those have been temporarily reassigned to later this year, and they'll have to be revisited once we understand exactly when the stadium has been approved, and we can Macquarie Point can proceed to market. So, Minister, Minister, the government has previously said the deal with the AFL cannot be renegotiated, but what we're hearing here is that some of the clauses or milestones within the current deal have in fact been renegotiated, which would suggest there is another version of the deal that perhaps the public or Parliament hasn't seen as yet. Will you undertake to provide a copy of the current revised deal to the Parliament?
Yeah, look, with the AFL, the fundamentals can't be altered, but...
How do you say?
So the AFL has said, and those that went on that trip to AFL headquarters just recently may have got that message as well in relation to adjusting a few wing nuts. As I understand it, the AFL were cognisant of the delays that this unfortunate, unnecessary state election would occasion, etc., and that they would take that into account.
So you didn't. My question was, will you undertake to provide a copy of that revised agreement to the Parliament?
Which shows the renegotiated milestones. That's what I think the member's asking. Yeah.
That's been publicly stated.
Through you, Minister, if you're comfortable, we can provide an updated copy of Schedule 12. So Schedule 12 is, my understanding, Ms Thomas, is Schedule 12, which is the one that outlines the statutory approval dates under the club funding agreement, are the ones that have changed to enable the time to be adjusted, given that there was a state election.
They entirely relate to, through you, Minister. Planning approvals, the securing of the funding because of the delayed budget and then, of course, the flow on for the public works approvals for the works.
So can we have that, we'll take Schedule 12 updated on notice, so we'll put that on the list.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Schedule 12 updated.
So,
But is that the only part of the agreement that has had any renegotiation of milestones or matters in it? Or have there been any other clauses, components, milestones, any other aspect that's been renegotiated that's not a milestone?
I do understand there's a governance protocol that has been adjusted as well.
We'll have a copy of that as well then?
Through you, Minister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
The governance protocol is what it's called?
Yes, just the protocol that sits around the governance for the agreement has been adjusted.
And anything else?
Not that I'm aware of. We might just need to check and take that on notice. I don't think so, but I'd just like the latitude to
Well, we're
find
putting that
out.
on notice so
Yeah.
you can inform us
And
if
what
there's
we
anything
can,
else
we
and
will
provide
share.
copies
Yep.
of that.
Yep.
Yeah?
Okay. Thank you.